Hello.
How are you?
I'm
Hi.
doing I'm doing okay. Hi.
Hey, Jana, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Well, that was a brave post you put up.
Oh, thank you. I felt like it was time.
Well, I hope you're getting a lot of love. We're sending it.
Hmm.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Looks like Mindy and Barbara are both in the ball pit today.
Yeah, we're both at work on different
Like,
sides of the
right,
floor.
different sides of the same floor.
Mindy, you know that Barb calls it the ball pit sometimes.
It's so funny.
Okay.
I've
She
told
got
you,
that from me.
yeah, haven't I told you the backstory on
Oh,
what the ball pit actually is? I got it from
no,
Jana. Yeah.
no, I haven't heard that. Why is it called the ball pit?
Oh, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna get this right, Jana. So it's the ball pit refers to like those plastic when you go to like when you would go to like a McDonald's playland and there would be those big giant pits of plastic balls and everyone is jumping in the ball pit and throwing balls at each other and it's absolute chaos. That's the ball pit. And we used to talk a lot and still do talk a lot about having to get above and out of the ball pit. And it started out as a metaphor for like publishing and all of those kinds of challenges and, writing and all of the different things we experience. But it's really about HBO. I kind of co opted it and applied it directly to HBO. So, yeah,
It's accurate. It's accurate.
it's
Yeah.
very accurate.
It's
Yeah.
from an email that I wrote a couple years ago. I'll have to see if I can find it and reshare it because the um the longevity of that lingering around is worth the refresher on exactly how I used it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, oh, and Lascelles here in the car. This is like four of you guys, five of us on this call. We haven't had a quorum like this in a couple of months. So,
Mhm.
um, for those of you I haven't seen yet in 2026, Happy New Year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I know. I know. I hope everyone had a good holiday and that the year's off to a good start. Well, we can jump in with updates around the circle. So, who would like to start us off? Or should I play teacher and just call on you?
Play teacher.
Play teacher.
Okay. Okay. Barb, I'm gonna pick on you because you just came back from another book event.
Actually, the next one's next week, but yeah, I did come back from Miami, and then I've got the New Jersey one is next week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the New Jersey one is the last one, kind of that has been like this is kind of the end of the book tour that I had really kind of planned out around the December launch. I do have an ask into a bookstore in Washington D.C. where I'm going to be during the first weekend of March, but they said circle back with them like next week. So I have to see. So I may end up doing something in DC too, but I kind of don't care if they say no or if they never get back to me. They did invite a follow up. So of course I'll follow up, but I'm kind of like, we're going down to DC for other purposes. So as I learned in Miami, having to tack a book event onto other things is no fun. It was better just
Mm.
traveling for sort of isolated book events. Um, so I was kind of like, I had already put out the DC question. I had already started working on DC and then started rethinking it. And then when the bookstore was like, yeah, we're not sure yet, we'll let you know. I was like, okay, cool. Like if you say no, that's really going to be okay. So yeah, I've just been spending this I said I was going to spend the month of January, but it's going into the month of February too. Just, like getting my head above water again, and sort of getting back to the ball pit, which is always fun. And getting back to like doing things that I was doing before, but figuring out like how the author life is gonna fit into that now and what I can do, now that the book's out there. But not really worried too much about making any decisions. I was just really craving craving my old routine back and getting back into doing some creative writing, which I have been just totally being very luxurious with this first Substack post. Like I haven't posted, I've been doing the little weekly posts, but the first like big post that I want to do, it like I'm 500 words into it. I'm still writing it. It's going great. So I'm like, I had said at one point, I had said to myself, oh, I'll try to get Substack going again, like the first week, Wednesday in February, which was yesterday. Woke up yesterday morning. I was like, not today. We'll see what happens next week. I'm just really not in a rush, So yeah, that's kind of it.
Totally fair.
Yeah, so we're still finishing the audiobook. Like there's still a lot going on. And then Yadon Israel started a brand as craft accountability group. And so far I've been to one meeting. Margaret, I don't know if you're planning on attending,
We should confer. Right now it's just like, I can't add one more thing, about it. I'm thinking about it, but.
Yeah. It's, in typical, so I've sort of let Yadon be my brain, in terms of like, what am I going to do with now that, it's like, what am I going to do with author life? What's the next step with author life? Now that I've done the big weddings and the big launches and all of that, it's just like, okay, now that we've had the wedding, now let's be married. I'm like Yadon, the last meeting was actually last night. And again, this is just where I am. At 6:00 when it was time, I sat down, or it was at 6:30. I sat down at 6:15 last night, had my water, had the whole setup for Zoom, ready to log in, and went, no, I don't feel like doing this tonight. Like looking forward for the next 2 weeks, like I don't want to have a Yadon assignment hanging over my head. And he gave me a very, very good assignment last time, so which was, I mean, it's Yadon, the man is a little like bit of a Yoda. So it's definitely given me like the wheels are turning, and I'm having some good ideas, but I just really do not feel any pressure to act on them. So I was like, I don't have to go to this meeting. I'm going to keep letting the wheels spin. I'll show back up in March and see if I have bandwidth to take any action on this, So that's it. I'm like, this is not the person I was in November when I was like, okay, I've got 700 things and I did 699 of them this morning. So not happening. So
again, totally fair. It sounds like you're kind of recovering from a very busy season.
Yeah. And I think it was like your post, Jana, was really, really important because it's like, it wasn't just the book. It was, the ball pit is always ball pitting. And we have more uncertainty coming down, for this year with yet another merger on the horizon. And, and then of course with Todd's health last year, it felt like I feel like I need a year to like I'm not like 2025 is over, but now I'm just like I gotta just sit in the grass like a cow and look at the sun, so and do what I want to do, which is a lot of healthy things. So I'm just I'm doing that. So that's it.
How was the Miami event?
Well, the Miami event, so I'm going to figure out how to, I hear you telling me to write a Substack about this, and I definitely will. It is on the Substack editorial calendar.
Okay.
The Miami event, the trip to Miami, I should say, had two purposes. Initially, it was just an invitation. My cousin was ordained as a Catholic priest.
Oh,
And so
cool.
it was an invitation to his ordination. That
Mhm.
was on Saturday morning. So, I have lots of family in Miami. We call them the extended family, which is ironic because my extended family is 50 people. We call them the immediate family. But my immediate family, meaning my mom's siblings and and like some of my cousins, were also traveling in. Todd and I were the only people who represented the caver side of the Cuban family. So it was this huge. It was like a family reunion. It's just like we went to lunch, and I mean, we traveled in a bus, like a huge bus, like as like the family car. It's like we made multiple stops, and you can't, it's like we were all staying at one hotel, and then the people who live in Miami, the relatives who live in Miami, had to be picked up at a different location. It was like we were our own little town. So, so Friday night there was like a casual welcome dinner for 50 people. Then there was the ordination, which lasted 2 hours. Todd was like, I'm gonna burn up in this church, not because I'm hot. It was actually not hot at all. We were lucky; it was very comfortable. We're all in suits. He's like, I'm gonna burn up because I am thinking such angry thoughts right now. Like,
At least it wasn't this week when it's 30 degrees there.
true. So it was so we got through that, and then there was the funny thing though was Saturday evening. It was the best thing I could liken it to was like a platinum wedding reception to celebrate my cousin's ordination. It's like he's a priest in the Dominican order. They seriously take the vow of poverty really seriously. There's like $7,000 worth of flower arrangements in this hotel room right now. It was bizarre. Then we went. Then Sunday morning, we all went to see his first mass, and Todd was like, "I am never getting into a church again. Never. This is it. I'm done." And I was like, "Okay." Then we had another casual lunch for 50 people at a big Cuban restaurant in Calle Ocho, which is the little Havana in Miami. And then my book event was that night, so it was my biggest book event with 70 people, but 55 of them were my family. So it went really, really well. It was a lot of fun. So
That's awesome. It definitely does sound like a Substack post, because what it sounds to me like is it's almost like a little sequel, a little mini sequel to the book.
it is like a little resolution to the book. It's also because I was like so shocked. I mean, obviously, you read the book, Margaret read it, and Mindy's read it, and LaSalle, you'll probably read it at some point. Like, I'm not nice to the Catholic Church, and I am not Catholic, and I am not nice to the Catholic Church. And the fact that we did so much Catholicism, and the fact that they were so incredibly excited and supportive of the book. And there were moments where even Todd was like, they've read it. Oh yeah, I read it. I loved it. I'm here to buy 6 more copies. We're like, okay, you were the one genuflecting during the mass this morning, So it was very, very. So it's been like kind of a good little. So it is a good like sequel. I also think, I mean, from what I continue to hear across the board from other memoir writers, highly unusual. I can't believe I have such family support.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
they're championing it so much. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if I get this DC event, I mean, I have 4 cousins coming to New Jersey next week that I didn't even know lived in New Jersey, And no, they just got like 3 text messages. They're like, "Is this event open to the public? Can I bring some friends?" I'm like, "Bring friends. I'm going to run out of books."
That's a good problem to have.
I was like, "You may want to pre-order your books. There's no bookseller coming to this event. So I have to get on the ferry to cross the Hudson River with like a box of books, and I only have 10 copies left." So I'm like,
Oh, that like
you wonder
sounds
why
like
I'm tired.
Sounds like a good problem to have, if you ask me.
It's all good problems to have, but it's like,
Yeah.
but then you wonder why I'm tired, why I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, good, Saturday. Somebody canceled
Yeah.
plans on Saturday. And I was like, oh, actually, they haven't canceled yet. I just haven't heard from them. And I'm like, when they do finally get back, I'm sure it's going to be a cancel. When they do finally get back to me, I'm going to be like, bless you for canceling. You know? Bless you for not getting back to me. Bless you. I get to sit around on Saturday with my feet up. So, yeah.
Awesome. That's all very exciting stuff. Tiring, I know, but also very exciting.
I've never been so exhausted in my life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But anyway, that's me. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Margaret, let's hear from you, my dear. It's been a while.
I know it has. Well, first I want to say, Barbara, congratulations on everything. I mean, the
you.
success of your launch, and it's a wonderful book. And get those family members to put up reviews on Amazon. They aren't already, because you'll have it covered, the minimum number to I don't know what registers. So
They have. Yeah.
but really, congratulations. I'm
Thanks,
thrilled.
Margaret.
Mindy, I've never met you, so it's nice to see you.
Oh my gosh, you guys haven't been on a call together?
No, we've not been on a call together because I've been overseas and away. So it's nice to be back. It's very nice to be back. You guys are among the reasons I'm glad to be back. There are many reasons I have mixed feelings. I guess, but it's good to see everybody. Let's see. As Barbara's book is published by She Writes Press, my book is being published by She Writes Press, but I'm 6 months behind in terms of my publication date. So I'm now waiting for the ARCs, which are a little late, but hopefully I'll get them soon. And then we'll see if I need to push back on when I get my comments back to them. But I'm hopeful everything will be okay. In the end, I think I'm going to get something that's really, after a little bit of back and forth around font size, in the end, the designer redid the book with a new font. So I was really surprised, actually. So because I was trying to follow their advice and go, it'll look different when it's in the ARC and calm down. And, I was concerned that it was too small. So they said, well, the designer heard your concerns and she's redone it. So I ended up reading the book a third time, and now I'm waiting for the ARCs. I meet with my publicist next week, and that will start. It's not on Substack, but I have been doing a blog, so now there's 7 of them up, and an 8th one will follow. And the easiest way to find them are at my website, if anyone's interested. Right now, that's the best way to find them. So
Margaret, you can always post a link in More to the Story too when you have a new one.
Okay, I will do that. Or what I'll do is first I'll put the link for my site and you can go and see, because they're all there. You can read them. And that, one of the reasons I'm very lucky. I hire people to help me with some of this stuff is because you say post a link and I go, I'm not really entirely sure how to do that. But I'll get it. I would say that the blogs are the only new writing I'm doing because I'm just constantly dealing with author questionnaires and things like that. Because Barbara remembers all of this, so I too am a little tired for all sorts of other reasons. On a personal front, and for those of you who are at all familiar with the memoir, then you might remember that my mother was Latvian. I am now a citizen of Latvia as of November.
Oh my gosh.
And it's interesting that they say your citizenship is restored. And last Thursday, with the support of my lovely husband, I was at the Latvian embassy in Washington.
Oh my gosh.
To apply for a passport and an ID card. So
wow.
That will, because Latvia is part of the EU, that will give me an EU passport. So that's kind of exciting. We'll see what happens about that.
Wow.
You probably don't know, but others here know that I spent some time in France. So this, it's odd. It just feels freeing, even though it isn't changing anything necessarily in terms of my behavior with travel, because I'm, for a variety of reasons, but it does feel like there's a kind of coming full circle, which is interesting. I'm sure I'll find a way to write about it at some point.
So you have dual citizenship now?
Yes.
Wow. I've been considering looking into that for myself. I think I could do it in Germany because both my mom and my grandmother were born there.
you look into it about, we don't have to talk about it now, but if I can offer any assistance, or advice about, I would be happy to do that. In the case of the Latvian citizenship, what was unique, and I wasn't aware, the law's been on the books there for a little while, because my mother was forced out of the country during the Second World War. I was entitled to apply under something called citizenship in exile, which meant there's no obligation to live in the country. Although the consular office gave me a little bit of grief about this, I don't speak Latvian. I mean, I have a strategy for how I will try and start to learn the language, thanks to this consular officer. But so there are the requirements by country vary, but certainly blood relative puts you on the right path.
Yeah. Very exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting.
Yeah.
And in terms of the book, I'm just I'm waiting for those arcs.
Yeah.
And then thinking that in March, because the book is going to be published June 2nd, I will start to, ask for pre-orders and things like that. But right now I'm figuring I don't want to harass people too far in advance, so.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Yes. It's exciting. And I know Barbara can comment on this too, but just every day reminds me, publishing is very different than writing.
Oh, yeah.
Writing a lot more.
Yes.
Yes. Publishing is about commodifying what you wrote with your sometimes felt like blood on the page.
Yes, definitely.
The publicity push. And, and it was so funny because Todd once or twice was like, people were like, oh, how's she handling everything? And Todd once or twice was like, oh, no, she knew this was going to be a nightmare. She knew exactly what she was getting into. It's like, no matter how much I prepared, no matter how far ahead I tried to get, it was like, even with having the sabbatical and having having time, it was still like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, like Barbara, I was just going to say,
good luck, Margaret.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Because I'm exhausted. It hasn't even started yet. If I get, requests for one more form or one more iteration of whatever I think I've said 100 times, but
yeah.
So that's my update.
Okay, good. Mindy.
Hi. Well, Margaret, a little catch up on what I'm working on. I'm working on a book about how to properly get in trouble at work.
Great.
And how people start to get in trouble and make it a lot worse for themselves. So trying to save people from themselves a little bit. And just like a practical guide of, when you work for, hard companies or hard people, like how you can navigate this and not, step in doo-doo. I realized about a month ago that there's a lot of game theory in navigating offices and corporate structures. There's a lot of like prisoner dilemma. It's like what I've been playing with, which it's kind of interesting when you start to really. I was having a hard time that I felt like all my writing was very light. That it's like, oh, here's my experience. And it's like, why would people read this? They really need something with a little bit more depth, and they want to have a takeaway and not just hear some random lady's stories. It's like, no, what can I do with my job and my life? So I'm trying to work that in. And so it's become a little bit more research lately than writing. But then, with Jana, your post the other day, and I met with a friend this morning before work who's been out of work for like a year. There's also like a layer of sensitivity that I want to incorporate too. And that's kind of like a balance where, I know personally, like when it comes to getting in trouble at work or whatever, I've been getting in trouble for professionally for like 25 years. So like, it doesn't faze me, but it is a scary thing for other people to be in trouble at work. So I'm kind of trying to like add a layer of, kindness and a layer of like soothing, that it's like when you're at work and you're in trouble, you feel like your whole world's ending, it's your identity, it's your livelihood, it's your family, there's a heightened stress that personally, I don't feel that, but I need to remember that other people do feel that, and to kind of like mold the writing with a little more like, give me your hand. Let me show you the ways, kindly and softly, but realistically, of how to like navigate these things. So it's gotten a little bit more gritty and a little bit more, nice. And I'm trying to like find a nice little voice in between those two things. So I've been kind of playing with that idea lately.
I could see it kind of being like tough love, Mindy, because you have that. Like one of the things that I think is your strength is just your voice, like you're sarcastic, kind of like you don't hold any punches, So when I hear you describing that, it sounds like your approach will, at least my assumption is, it would be like a tough love approach.
Yeah, a little tough love. And I want to break people of their bad habits. For just like a small example, the friend that I met with today, I suggested, hey, have you reached out to this other guy that we used to work with together like 20 years ago? And he's like, I haven't. That would be like a cold email. I'm like, do it. And he's like, well, how would you start it? He goes, I would start it with congratulations on your new job. I'm like, oh, I would absolutely not do that. I would absolutely not make it sound like every other email he just got, that congratulates you on this new job. I'm like, it goes right into the rubbish bin. And so like, and he's like, oh, I never thought to write it like a human. Like, but it's like, that's the type of lessons that I want to be like, no, like connect to people, like get out of that corporate mindset where you have to be like, I saw on LinkedIn, congratulations. Like, no one wants to respond to that, so like that kind of lesson that I'm like, here, let me help you. So trying to like, I guess, long story short, trying to nail that voice of what does that sound like, how things get presented in that voice. And as the book goes on, it gets a little more serious of like, all right, now HR's calling. Now it's a legal thing. Now we're playing, now it's like there's getting in trouble and then there's getting in trouble. So like trying to weigh this, that it's accurate, that like I'm giving really solid advice that maybe an employment lawyer would give. So a lot of research, a lot of, playing around with tone in some of these stories that I've been writing. Right now I'm just kind of writing a bunch of pieces and we'll weave the quilt later.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so that's it.
Oh, good. And it sounds like you're making progress and that you're able to make time and find time and like give it the attention that you want to give it.
Yeah, it's one of those that I feel like I'm progressing, but on paper it doesn't look like much, I'm like progressing in my mind, and like, the writing that I'm doing, it's a little less aimless, maybe, I wouldn't say I'm writing that much more, but I think what I'm writing is actually a little bit more succinct.
Yeah.
Which is good.
If you feel like you need to see more visual progress, what I like to do is just have like a spreadsheet word count tracker where you put in the date, the number of words, and then it accumulates your total over time. And that's like a good way to be like, oh yeah, look how much I actually have done. And instead of feeling like it's random and sporadic and maybe not all very centralized, if you're doing different stories and different documents, it's not quite like a cohesive whole yet.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. I've been also using like your Post-it method of like goals for the week. And then I kind of look at my little pile. I'm like, I did do things. See?
Awesome. Love it.
There's a visual of like a done stack, even if those tasks are not, hugely labor intensive, it's still just getting like the ball down the field a little bit more.
Exactly. Any little trick we can use to remind ourselves we are doing things, we are making progress, and we can keep going. And here's the evidence. Like we basically need to collect evidence for ourselves. And that's kind of what those tricks are all about. Yeah. Like here's my evidence.
Right. And this weekend's going to be really cold in New York. So I'm kind of treating it as my own personal retreat where I'm just kind of going to snuggle under some blankets and a laptop and just kind of like stay warm and hash some things out.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Good stuff. LaSalle, let's hear from you.
Hi.
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 I had a quick look on Google to find out where Latvia is, Margaret, because
Okay.
no,
Thank you.
now I
Welcome
do.
to the States.
It's
Wonderful.
actually quite a northern latitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of foggy brained right now. Just came from a visit with Terry, and he's making progress. It's kind of like our book writing. It's like there's effort, there's no sign of progress. Oh, yeah, there's a little sign of progress.
Mhm.
That kind of stuff. So, um, yeah. So I really like the goal I set for myself last week, which was to open Scrivener every day because I could do that. And I have been doing that. So, um, I don't know, something, Mindy, that you said reminded me of where I feel like I am right now, which is it's not obvious progress, but I know that each time I go in and edit or revise one little piece, one little folder in Scrivener, that is progress. And at some point, I'll just go, okay, yeah, that's done. Like all those little pieces. Um, yeah, a lot of dealing with weather this last week, last 2 weeks, and journaling. I'm doing a voice to text journal almost every day. Um, so that feels good. Just get stuff that's just rolling around up here into something that I may draw on at some point. Um,
Voice to text, Lacelle, are you recording yourself or you're talking to text to have it text be typed out?
Talking for text to be typed out. I have
Okay.
Google Docs on my phone, so I can be out in the barn in the morning. It's one of my biggest moments for like, these like seeing patterns and having
Mm-hmm.
something to say or
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. So yeah, I do that,
Nice.
and then I can bring it whenever I want to into Word to tidy it up.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That's actually how I wrote probably most of the stories. Although I typed them. So actually I didn't voice to text them at that point, but I do that now because I can talk faster than I can type on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out and about. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's good. And I don't know. My neck hurts from sleeping funny the other night, probably about a week ago now. So that's an undercurrent of making me cranky.
Mm.
That-
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine that there's some wonderful body workers in this area of the planet, but I haven't heard of them yet. Found them. So
Maybe you need to put out a call for recommendations to your network.
I could do that again. I did it a couple of years ago looking for a craniosacral therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one person in Lynchburg who'd been practicing for about a year. So I had a session because it was better than nothing, but it doesn't nearly equate to the quality of getting a session with somebody who's been doing it for 30 or 40 years. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been fortunate to
Yeah.
have some really excellent
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I miss that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're just kind of slowly but surely, day by day, taking little steps here and there.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes we have to have those kind of seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think like I mentioned before, I've got a high school reunion coming up, and the theme of this is when I get pissed off, I get stuck and I don't follow up. So after I published my first book, I sent a PSA to the colleges I've graduated from, the high schools I've attended or graduated from, and yeah, I'm especially pissed off at the high school I graduated from because they have a section in, I think it's twice a year now, the school magazine in print. They have a section of alumni publications.
Hmm.
And I'm so pissed that they didn't do anything with my first book that I haven't, and this is kind of how I feel about it, I haven't tormented them about my second and third books.
Lucille, this is
It's
Concord
kind of
Academy.
like, well, screw you, you're not going to do anything with it anyway. But at the same time, that's underneath that is I'm hurt that like,
Yeah.
why didn't they do something like they do with the alumni who were lawyers and writing about international issues? It's sort of like, it's not fair. So
Yeah.
Lucille is at Concord Academy, right?
it is.
I'm surprised.
Me too.
Have you thought about reaching the reason I'm for the rest of you? My nephew went to Concord Academy. It's literally it's not it's practically within walking distance from where I live. I'm just surprised.
Too.
Well,
Me too.
Did you pester them about it?
That's not my style, so no, I didn't.
but I'm just wondering if it got lost through the cracks or if there's
Yeah.
something with administration. I mean, you have an opening to reach out to say, I will be coming to my reunion. And I just
Exactly.
wanted to follow up on some correspondence I sent to you a while ago that was really important to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And what I just want to say is, hey, I wrote you before. This is my third book. What the fuck, you guys? I want to say,
Well, it could be a mistake. It could be a mistake.
Yeah.
That kind of doesn't sound like Concord Academy to me. It could be.
I would even phrase it like that, like I have no doubt this is a mistake and you guys get a lot of emails, but here's all my links and here's all the info. Let me know if you need anything else.
Mhm.
And I push them to they should say something about the first book because all the other books are related to that first book.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
You're an
It's
alum, and
I admit that I remember now that when I was active in therapeutic writing, somebody at Concord got word of it and interviewed me, and that got into the magazine. So this would have been, I don't know, 15 years ago now.
It's probably a whole
Yeah,
new batch
so
of people too. Like the person who dropped the ball is probably long gone and they don't even know, the new person doesn't know the ball exists.
or there was some other transition going on. From what I know of the school, it doesn't sound like them. And I guess the only other, because you do have a reunion coming up, you could give them an opportunity to make it, make good on this.
Mm.
It's an
Yeah.
opportunity for them to live up to the reputation that leads you to return for a reunion.
That's right.
And I'm thinking some of my hesitation was I must have not, like I'm blaming myself, like I must have not described my book well enough for them to pay any attention. Because actually my undergraduate and graduate school places didn't respond either. It's just sort of like, well, Sal's information just disappeared into the void.
I'd start with Concord Academy. I really wouldn't if there's anything I can do. Go over this. By the way, did you receive this message? Whatever. I have no connection to them other than to have a beloved nephew who graduated and now a friend. So
Yeah.
Margaret could go knock on the door.
yes, I'm sorry. Did you get this?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
it is a hard place though, because it's like you pour your soul into these things, and then it's like you just want to be considered,
Yeah.
and it hurts, it stings.
It
yeah,
really
and
does
my
hurt.
years there were extremely painful. So it's I bring my own vibe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of not belonging. So they're sort of confirming my internalized, I
Yeah.
don't really belong here or anywhere.
No,
So yeah,
I would try again. I mean,
I would also,
this is
especially if, I mean, I don't know how many times you did follow up, but I would also say from my own personal experience, there's places where it feels easier to follow up and be a pest than others, especially if there's a place like this where there's a little bit of a history and like some, like more of an emotional barrier happening. Um, that I totally understand that, and it can be harder to be the feeling like you're being a pest or a nag or whatever, but regardless of the outlet, that's how your stuff gets attention, is by kind of being a little bit of a squeaky wheel, you know.
yeah.
well,
So can I just write an email and say, hey, here's the three books that I've published so far. Like, I think I have this idea that I have to do the right presentation that they can just copy and paste, and it's not my strength, it's not my interest, it's not something that, I mean, that's part of it. Why I'm not doing it is to create something for them. So it's kind of like first step is like,
LaSalle, you could
you
copy
wanna
the description on Amazon and
give
give
me
it to
some
them.
room in your magazine on my books or something.
Copy the description on Amazon and give it to
Mhm.
them. Say that you're going to be coming, you are coming to, your 50th reunion, and you're really looking forward to reconnecting with that community, and you wanted to follow up on an earlier correspondence because it's important to you. It's important to you to have this connection with Concord Academy, and you assume that somehow the communication just fell through the cracks. So you're trying again. That's what I would do.
And
I
you know
can,
what's fun is once you get this email written, you just keep it, and it's a template of whenever someone isn't promoting you the way you want it, you just take Concord Academy out and put somebody else in and be like, oh, I did this when I was dating, when I had to write a Dear John to say I don't want to date you anymore. It's always terrible to write. But then you just are like, oh, I actually have a template for that. Like, take out John, put in Bob. Warmest regards. Our date at the steakhouse, sushi was great. And, you just take the emotion out of it. This is where I actually like AI. I don't use AI in my
Yeah.
writing, but I definitely use it on things I don't want to like deal with. If I don't want to write it and I find myself procrastinating, I'll just run the idea through AI and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll write something like that. And you just kind of use it as your suggestion box, and you'll write that thing in like 5 minutes.
I outsource my
And
discomfort.
it takes the emotion out of it because
100%.
you want to write it like, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then, AI will be like, excuse me, sir. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mindy, that's such a great idea because I do the same thing. And actually, what's very helpful is you can write all your emotion to AI.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost like a way to process it. So you're like expunging that anger and that hurt to a robot.
Right. It's like the best use of robots. It's like trauma dump on them and then make them use something that sounds more human.
That's actually usable. Like,
yeah,
here's the situation.
For that.
These assholes. Now what should I do? Oh, here's a response that you can use.
Dear sir,
right.
I
would
like
and
to
write some weird stuff and you tweak it.
Yeah.
And they're going to call and all that information.
It could be fun. I just want to offer one tiny anecdote because I too I can't stand, I think it's an issue of childhood. I really don't like being ignored. I really don't like that. But so I was ready to I can't believe you're not responding to me. I was so pissed off at the lack of a response. And then did a little, found out the person had had a terrible flu, like really, really the flu. And then when he got over the flu, he fell and hit his head. So I don't even know how he's doing. And I thought, it put me back to go, maybe Margaret responding to you about this thing is not first at the top of his list. And that's legitimate.
Well, and this is where I like phrasing an out for them. So like, let's say someone receives this email and they go, oh, I screwed up. I missed that email. I ignored it. I probably shouldn't have done that. Like hypothetically, you're giving them a road by saying, I understand that you're very busy. Things happen, but here's the information again, blah, blah, blah. And they could respond like, you're right, things happen, but now I have it. It's like you gave them a little bit of a road. When you go in and say, why are you ignoring me? They're going to be like, I'm going to ignore that again because I don't want to have to answer that. Like Barbara and I talk a lot about this at work of like, when you're discussing something with someone, you want to guide them to the answer you want. You want to be mad about it. You want to be like, but like you gotta give them a road and you gotta get them on your road. Like here's the road you could go down. I'm inviting you to go down my road. And you would be surprised how many people are like, oh, thank God, I don't have to think about it. I'll just go down that road. And I'll just give this lady what she wants. I feel bad that we missed it. Like done. And then you'll feel great. But yeah, use AI to take out the emotion, give them a little bit of a path, and then keep that template forever. Done.
That's such a good suggestion. It's because you let people then succeed. You give them a way to succeed and do what you want them to do.
Right.
Well, and it's interesting because this is the part that I've been having with my book too, is that when I approach problems like this, and maybe I'm a sociopath, I don't know, but I feel like I never think it's me. I always think it's them. If this happened, I'd be like, they're being jerks, aren't they? Well, I'm just going to have to work on this again. I'm like, dear sir, it's me again. I'm like, don't, if a school rejects me, I'm like, I didn't want to go to your school anyways. It's just like, I really approach it chest first that I'm like, you obviously missed this. You didn't tell me no, you actually just missed the email. And then if they tell me no, I'm like, I don't want to be a part of your club anyways. But yeah, like give yourself a path, give yourself some grace. Just assume they are, they are busy with their own lives, and they're not trying to actively say no to you.
Right.
They are just missing it, and you're just reminding them to come back and look at it.
Yeah.
And even if that's not true, it's just much more likely to get a response because most people want to avoid conflict.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That was 3 years ago anyway, so I'm not probably even going to refer to.
Yeah, just tell them like, hey, look at the stuff. I'm inviting you to come look at it.
I've got more books out now.
It's timely because you're coming up for your reunion. There are all sorts of reasons for them to want to. It's timely for them. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's like this was a fun lesson. Like I think when I did a recent round of corporate brainwashing at some point last year, a lot came up about emotional currency, and the difference between something that's transactional and something where you really have to invest in emotionally, and that really came out to play during a lot of the PR stuff, during a lot of the like, even with talking about this Washington, D.C. book event. It was like, at first I was like, oh yes, I really need to have this happen. And then I'm like, the people I know in D.C. probably already have the book, it'd be nice to see them. Yes, it'd be nice to sign it. But it's like, it becomes transactional. Maybe I could sell more books. Maybe I could meet more people in that area if this comes to fruition. If not, there may be another opportunity that'll be easier. It'll be something I can say yes to rather than something I have to go out and create, and so it really becomes this like weighing of like, investment of time, energy, and emotions, as opposed to like, I just need to get my info in your hands and that's it, So, yeah. Good luck, LaSalle.
Good luck.
Does it feel a little better?
Yeah, it feels doable. I think the simplest part about just copy the description I put up on Amazon.
Mhm.
But you also might have some fun with AI.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. I love AI for Google Maps and Google, and but I have not had any conversations like that with AI, and I don't foresee doing that.
No, I haven't either, but it's an interesting idea.
It is, and I think what I get so annoyed with the deception that's so evident in social media from
Mhm.
AI.
Mhm.
Oh, sure. It's
Mhm.
probably 90% bad
Anything
and
I use
10%
AI
good.
for, it's a direct link for them to use anything from me for whatever
Mhm.
else they do. And I have very little access to online privacy. I know that, but this is one thing I can say, nope.
I totally get
That's
Yeah,
that.
fair.
absolutely. Yeah.
I actually pay extra to have my website shielded from AI harvesting.
Mhm.
So
I didn't know you could do that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
can do it. I'll be happy to. A company called Author Bytes built my site, and I have a maintenance plan with them, and they have worked to sort of develop this thing that. And they said, for writers that have been up there for a while, they can't do anything with material that's already up there. But because my site was new, it's kind of a shield, and they're working on blocking the harvesting.
Mm.
Just to keep it,
Interesting.
yeah. And it's picked, I mean, but the stuff's picked up other ways. But for me, it's
Mhm.
just my little bit like, no, not
Yeah.
today. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also think that's where, because I started looking into that for my site, Margaret, and I also think that's where I'm going to do it. I just have to figure out how to make it, how to do it because I'm with WordPress, so I just have to figure out how to activate it. I actually think the last time I upgraded to get the tools that I needed in order to revamp my site for the book launch, I think it's included. So it's one of those things where it's like I just need the 3 minutes it will take me to log in and look and act and hit the green button that
Turn
says
it on.
activate
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all to say that because one of the fantastic entertaining things that has started piling into my inbox, my author inbox is, are the scam artists trying to offer like, oh, guess what, I can raise your visibility on Goodreads, I can do this, I can do that. And it's like, stop quoting stop using the Amazon description of the book. Like, I know I got a review on Amazon. This has happened 3 times now where I'm reading one of these AI scam artists and I'm like, wow, they wrote something really nice. And I go on Amazon and the review is there. And I'm like, oh, cool. My cousin posted a review.
yeah,
I'm like, hide your footprints a little bit, guys. But all to say, yeah, it is really important. So, but yeah. So they'll find it other ways, but I do think
they will,
any
but
little,
whatever
any little,
roadblocks I could personally put up, I'm putting up.
yeah, of course. And also because like I've got, and I do have an excerpt of the book up there, and I'm going to leave it up there, but it's like, the book is, available. So anybody can go put an excerpt anywhere. But, it's like before it was published, my content security kicked in and I was like, should I have that excerpt there? You know what? It's like a trailer. Put it up,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You can
yeah,
also drive yourself crazy where you're like, no, and they're like,
yeah,
I finally realized the blurbs I was given, guess what? They're mine.
yeah,
And I've conferred with the writers. I can do anything I want with them. So it's like I
yeah.
don't have to torture them into the little, however someone else wanted. And I'm like, no, it's full blurb. I'm putting the whole thing up there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah. So,
Good stuff, you guys. Any final questions, comments, thoughts?
Well, just how are you doing, Jana? If there's anything
yeah.
here.
I'm doing okay. I'm a little moving slowly this week after the cataract surgery, and I feel like I'm even just looking at myself on the Zoom window, like, okay, I'm still kind of a little puffy. And everything is very bright, so I'm kind of
Mhm.
like squinty. Um, and I'm sure there's been improvements in my vision, but I haven't been able to fully appreciate or enjoy it yet. So Yeah. Just gotta give it time. That's one of those things you just have to give it time. So,
Like so many things.
yes. Yes. So many things. Yes, my cataract, I think I said this in the post I wrote. It was so advanced that doctors don't usually see one of its size unless the person is 90. So that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, but has anyone here ever had cataract surgery?
Todd did last year.
So,
That was one of
Todd.
that was one of our fun medical that was one of our fun medical adventures of 2024 and 2025. But
Yeah.
that was easy, you know. And I'd say about a week after the surgery, he was like joking that he had X-ray vision. And I actually saw a massive improvement because for him it was something they had been monitoring, and they were like, we want because of the diabetes, and it had developed because of the retinopathy treatments he'd had like years ago. And so they had been monitoring it for a long time, and finally they just decided to be proactive. They're like, it's not really at the point where we would remove it, but we know it's just going to go downhill from here. And he was already experiencing like blurred vision and stuff like that. So they go in, they do the surgery, and within a week I could see it was like he was a new human. Like his confidence changed because he could see better, particularly in low light, you know, and I think that made a huge difference. So they're tracking a cataract in the other eye, and, you know, and he went in recently to the ophthalmologist, and they were like, likely we'll try to do that eye in 2020. We'll try to wait till 2028. We'll try to give it 2 years. It may have to happen in 27. And he was like, great. You know? So he was like, I'll be like Superman. But it sounds like it sounds like you're experiencing exactly what he was experiencing, Jana, just like that first week, just like, you know, little discomfort. Oh, wow, my lights just turned off in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it'll work. You know, you should be like Superwoman soon. So
I hope so. I'm hoping for that. But yeah, I don't know if Todd experienced this, but they do the surgery while you're awake. So that's a very strange experience for me. I'm not just because of my personal history with medical issues and diagnose, just, you know, receiving a diagnosis is traumatic. And so I have trauma around being in medical environments. And so just that in and of itself was very stressful for me. So
yeah.
But
I wasn't pretty much given up reading for a few years before I had a cataract fixed. It was just blurry, and I go like this because it was this eye. So no regrets. I've got a little one in the other eye, but I have no intention of having another surgery.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's an outpatient surgery. They don't even put you fully under. So I think it's not considered a major surgery, but I'm like, it's a major surgery.
Everything is a major surgery. This is my third book. Everything is major.
Okay,
there's no
if they're gonna cut open a part of your body,
Well,
it's a major surgery.
And your eye.
Your
I mean, for
eye.
goodness sake, it's your eye.
Exactly.
It's not like they were working on your foot, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Let me tell you what happens when they work on the foot.
It's like the center. It's
Nothing
the
but major
center
surgeries.
of your awareness. Yeah.
But you're sort of like, it's coming right at. I mean, I'd be like, no, you don't want me awake for this or anywhere near.
Yeah.
I mean, Todd said it was like a fever dream, like where you're in a dream and you're like, I'm trying to move and I can't, and here comes the thing coming at you. You know,
Well,
I'm like, I would lose my mind. I'm like, they have to put me all the way out.
Weirdly, you don't see anything. I don't know how that happens, but like, there's light shining right in your eye, and that was the only thing I could see is the light. It was like this bright light
on the side. Yeah.
And then whatever activity they're doing is somehow outside of the field of vision. I don't know how they do that, but and it literally was just like, you know, I could feel the pressure, but I couldn't see anything. So, okay. Anyway. Weird. The body is weird, y'all.
Mhm.
So on that note, have a great rest of your day. Great weekend coming up. And I think everyone saw the post I made about starting the chat for us. So there's a chat feature now, and I've sent a couple of audio messages myself, and everyone is welcome to do audio too, although I know not everyone is comfortable doing that. And then I believe our next activity together is the retreat, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Oh, and one other thing, I'll say this since we're all here. If you haven't seen it, I did post a special event happening March. I'm forgetting the exact date. I think it's March 7th. It'll be a 2-hour workshop on human design for writers on a Saturday.
Okay.
So hopefully many of you are available to attend that. And yeah, those are the exciting things coming up for us. So.
And I have one more small thing that I'm going to do because it's unusual for me. My birthday is on Sunday, so.
Oh.
Happy birthday, LaSalle.
Happy
birthday. How are you celebrating? What are you doing?
What?
LaSalle? Okay, assignment, please.
I just celebrated by letting my writing community know it was my birthday and receiving birthday wishes. This is my celebration.
I would like to, optional assignment. Think about between now and Sunday, something you could do for yourself to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to celebrate your birthday too.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be big. It could just be you're gonna get your favorite dessert, you're gonna take a bath, you're gonna have lunch with a friend. Something.
Barbara's going to yoga class for LaSalle's birthday.
Yeah, something small that you can say, I'm doing this for myself because it's my birthday.
And not that anyone probably cares, but because I'm not a football fan, but the Super Bowl is this Sunday.
Yes, it is.
The Patriots made it in. And I live in Boston, the Boston area. So,
does that mean you're going to be watching?
It's your birthday. I'm speaking for them now.
Margaret, does that mean you're going to be watching and cheering
for
the Patriots?
Because I have no interest, but I am really, but I do have people around me who are absolutely thrilled. And so for them, I'm like, great. That's great. So
okay, but LaSalle is going to think about something fun that she can do for herself for her birthday.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I will ask you about it next time. I won't ask you to share in the community, but I will ask you about it. Okay.
All right,
my dears. Have a great weekend. We'll talk again soon.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.